Coming up on this edition of the Newsfeed, we have a follow-up from the hookah lounge shooting that took place in early February. Plus, we get some advice on how to prevent car theft in our area. And a look at the Virginia Tech Theater Department's first production, Star-Crossed. Those stories and more are just ahead. Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Matthew Scopa. During the recent shooting in downtown Blacksburg, large amounts of misinformation was spreading around social media, leaving Blacksburg residents confused with what actually happened that night. Newsfeed reporter Gavin Linden has more on this story. Gavin?
After midnight on February 5th, local police responded to a fatal shooting outside of the Melody Hookah Lounge here on North Main Street in downtown Blacksburg. 4 people were injured and 1 was announced dead on the scene. At the time of the shooting, police revealed that 4 suspects were at large and began their search. Thousands of people took to police scanners, social media, and VT alerts for answers, but were left with more questions.
This Virginia Tech student, who asked to be unnamed, touched on the impact the VT alert system had that night.
So to actually experience it, to actually have seen it happen, not see it happen, but we were constantly receiving a lot of updates throughout the night, and so it felt a lot more real.
That night, social media feeds were full of misinformation. A car theft, high-speed chases, more shots fired, all linked to the initial shooting. It was hard to believe anything that was happening at the time. VTPD Investigations Lieutenant Kendra Klein spoke on how to keep misinformation from spreading around the public.
Problem with that is that you're getting a lot of information about what officers are doing, but you're getting absolutely no context about what happened. My best piece of advice with that is to not listen to the scanner. The other incidents that were coming in were found to not be related, but at that point, we don't know whether they're related or not.
Moving forward, the VTPD suggests that all people during a tragic time comply and listen to local law authorities. Also, the info from VT alert systems will continue to remain vague. Getting information to the public is important, but it is not the task at hand.
Lieutenant Klein also suggested that if you see something, say something. Being able to get the facts to the police is the #1 priority during a time of tragedy. Reporting live from downtown Blacksburg, this is Gavin Linden for the Newsfeed.
Thanks, Gavin. During the pandemic, older model cars rose in prices, but also rose in crime. Car theft, break-ins, and stealing car parts have become an issue for communities in the New River Valley. Late last year, and now, catalytic converters are stolen within seconds. This part of a vehicle is made of precious metals and helps filter the pollutants from the car exhaust. It can be sold from $200 to up to $1,000 on the black market. Citizens like Katie Lee Tarbett says that she has a constant fear of thieves coming back for not only her car, but her family's.
So I think your standard, keeping your stuff locked up, kind of out of sight, those major belongings, putting your stuff away, well-lit areas, good security cameras. If you know that you're parking and you can see a security camera, sometimes that's all it takes to deter somebody.
Car parts are usually stolen at night and when individuals are away for the holidays. Locations like the gym, parking lots, and churches are places with easy access and are prime locations for these occurrences to happen. For new vehicles, it is easy to keep safe because of new and improved security systems. The United States is currently experiencing the worst blood shortage in over a decade. Hospitals are being forced to turn away patients for major surgeries, including organ transplants, due to extremely low blood supply levels. The American Red Cross Association has many locations across the New River Valley, including Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. The Red Cross Blood Donation Center in Blacksburg is located inside of Kent Square and is open every day from 7:30 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. Quinn Conrad, blood donor ambassador for the American Red Cross, started working for the Red Cross because of the blood shortage.
Just because there's already a big shortage, hospitals are really trying desperately to get blood everywhere. So as soon as we're getting blood in here, they're moving it out to the hospitals, and it's really important that we can have blood to keep on sending to them.
Since March of 2020, there has been a 10% decrease in overall blood donations due to the pandemic, while the blood shortage is drawing attention to the crisis. There is still an urgent need for blood donations. An appointment is needed to donate blood, and that can be done at redcrossblood.org. Just ahead on the newsfeed, how is the Virginia Tech Athletics Department managing their facilities while putting on 9 games in 10 days? And what policies has Virginia Tech changed for indoor sporting events since they are no longer requiring students to be vaccinated for classes? That story and more after this break.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Matthew Scopa. The beginning of February was an extremely busy time for Virginia Tech athletics. With the start of spring sports and the end of winter sports, it can get very hectic around athletics departments. And with COVID-19 rescheduling protocols, it can make it even more challenging. Newsfeed reporter Jet Willingham has more in this next story.
Virginia Tech has hosted 10 major sporting events in the 12-day span from February 2nd to February 14th. In addition to 4 men's basketball games, 4 women's basketball games, and 2 wrestling matches, all hosted in Castle Coliseum, the athletics department also hosted 6 men's tennis matches and 4 women's tennis matches in Blacksburg. Tori Thurston, Assistant Director of Marketing and Fan Experience, explains just how hard these weeks can be.
In general, if you lose some of them, things like that, people start to get a little overloaded with all of the events that we have going on.
Each event means a different setup for Castle Coliseum each day. Scott Bradshaw, Assistant Director of Facilities with Virginia Tech Athletics, says the preparation that goes into a game back-to-back can be a lot.
We may have to make sure the floor is clean, the courtside carpet is clean. We have to make sure all the locker rooms, the visiting team locker rooms, back gym, everything we have that people will be using for this game is ready to go for the teams that are going to be here.
With winter sports coming to an end soon, the athletics department will stay busy as spring sports start this Friday, February 18th, with a home baseball series. Reporting for the newsfeed, this is Jet Willingham.
Coronavirus mandates are becoming less apparent in today's world. Here's how Virginia Tech has changed policies on vaccination status being required for indoor sporting events. Newsfeed reporter Connor Morris has more in this next story.
Previous to February 11th, all students who were supporting fans at indoor sporting events such as basketball games were required to be vaccinated. Now the mandate requiring students to be vaccinated to attend indoor sporting events has been changed. Students are now able to cheer on the Hokies regardless of their vaccination status. Before this policy was changed, all fans who came to indoor sporting events were required to show a valid vaccination card upon entrance to the sporting facilities. Here's how a faculty member of Castle Coliseum feels about the policy change.
I kind of have a mixed viewpoint about it. One safe, I want to make sure that the students are safe, but I think it also showcases that we're kind of moving towards a world where I think we're going to be COVID-free pretty soon.
Although proof of vaccination is no longer necessary to attend, fans must still wear masks at all indoor sporting events. During games, athletic staff hold signs that say masks required, so fans know they must remain vigilant of coronavirus.
You know, honestly, I was a little surprised at first because at the beginning of last semester, everyone was required to get the vaccination, and I know it was a big deal. We still all have to wear masks when we go in the dining halls or go to class.
With mandates becoming less serious, fans can hope that coronavirus will soon be behind them. From limited fans allowed indoors to now no vaccination requirements, anyone who attends Virginia Tech events can now enjoy their Hokie experience even more. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Connor Morris.
The Virginia Tech Theater Department is preparing for their first production of the spring semester titled Star-Crossed. This will be the play's on-stage debut following its script development during the COVID-19 pandemic. The play focuses on a group of high school misfits following the death of their friend on prom night. Tackling current issues such as social distancing, depression, and teenage insecurity, the relevance of the play highlights its importance. The Virginia Tech Performing Arts website describes the play as a haunting, contemporary riff on the Antigone story that asks what it really means to find healing in an unknowable world. Director Michael Alvarez provided some insight into the play.
I started to work on this play probably about a year ago, and it was a piece that both of us felt was important because it talked about issues of mental health, and I felt like it would be a piece that would speak to students of this generation.
Tickets for the show are currently available for purchase on the Moss Arts Center website or in person at the Moss Arts Center box office. The show will run from February 22nd through March 1st with showtimes at 7:30 p.m., also including a matinee showing at 2 p.m. on Saturday, February 26th. Performances will be held in Squire's Studio Theater. That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching. I'm Matthew Scopa. Have a wonderful day.